Good morning, dear listeners. Today we will study the poem The Ball Poem. The Ball Poem is a very touching poem. It's a very sympathetic poem. It's a poem which describes the happenings in the life of a boy. It is very important for each and every human being. The moral lesson very nicely conveyed by the poet John Berryman, American poet who was born in 1914, died in 1972. He has described the combination of childhood happiness and sorrow in a very logical manner. When the poem starts, we find that the poet has written the line, "What is the boy now? What is the condition of the boy now? What has happened to the boy now? What has happened? Who has lost his ball?" Because he has lost his ball. And the poet is there. The poet is noticing the condition of the boy. What is he to do? What he should do at that time? I saw it go, and the poet was there. He is saying that I saw it go. He noticed that the ball was going something, and I saw it go ball, merrily bouncing, and ball definitely it will bounce. So it was bouncing merrily, happily it was bouncing, and down the street. And where it went through the street and then merrily over. And then it was over, it was lost. Where? There is in the water. There it is in the water source nearby. It got lost there. And this boy is just staring. What has happened to him? Merrily over, there is in the water. All his happiness now is over. The game is over because the ball has been lost in the water source, and no use to say, "Oh, there are other balls." Who am I to guide him? The poet is saying, the poet is telling this. No use to say, don't guide him. And the poet is appealing to the readers also, to everyone. Don't teach him the lesson that there are other balls. There is no need of other balls, according to the poet. And poet is saying an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, because the boy has become very sad and he has become fixed. He is not moving. He has become just like statue. An ultimate shaking grief. And he has become very sad. Shaken with the grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, and he stands straight, trembling, staring down, staring all his young days, childhood days that he spent with his friends. And this boy spent memorable moments, and the ball is lost. But that ball, the same ball, if it will be found once again, the memories connected to the ball will not be brought back. This is the moral story here. All his young days into the harbor, water source, there where his ball went, where this ball disappeared. And I would not intrude on him. And the poet takes this decision. The poet is saying that he is not going to disturb that boy. Never interrupt a dime, another ball. Dime here, the American currency you can find here, the dime. Another ball is worthless. Another ball, if you will bring another ball, if you will give another ball to this boy, that will be useless. That will not bring back the happiness of the boy in the same manner. Why? Because he has lost that time, childhood time. My dear learners, if I'm asking a question to you, can you bring back your childhood days? Suppose that you are just a student of 10th standard, 9th standard. This is 10th standard poem, 9th standard, 8th standard, or 10th standards, 11th standards, 12th standard student you are. Can you bring back your childhood days? Can you go back once again when you were a student of 5th standard or 4th standard, where you had no problem, where you had no fear of career, you are enjoying your childhood days? You cannot bring back. And this is happening with this boy. The boy who has lost the ball in the water source, the boy is reminded of his childhood days. And he spent moments with his friends that he can never bring back those moments of life. Although he can buy another ball, but he cannot bring back those moments. It means time and tide waits for none. It is a very old saying and a very important saying. So time and tide waits for none. Here time has been referred very nicely by John Berryman, the poet, that no one can bring the same ball with the memory to this boy. This is what the poet tries to say. And next line, he senses his first responsibility. He senses his first responsibility. And this boy in his life, for the first time, he has got the true meaning of responsibility. That now he has to be responsible in his life, because now he will be habituated to lose one thing after another in his life, and he will have to compromise with himself in this practical life. This practical life is full of sorrows, full of sorrow. And sadness, one by one, he has to recover. He has to know this ultimate truth, that he will be losing one thing after another. And in a world of possessions, so many things are there in this world for you. You might achieve those things, but you will lose one day. All things are not yours for forever. You will be losing one thing after another in your life. This world of possessions, you have so many things. But in the future, you can't take guarantee of the fact that you will be having so many things always. You will be losing the things one by one, and people will take balls. Balls will be lost. People will take, people in this world, so materialistic, so selfish people will try to snatch those things from you. People will try to dominate. People will try to prove you a mean creature. They will try to degrade you. So you have to understand this fact, that balls will be lost always. Balls will be lost always, and one by one things will be lost always. Little boy, and this little boy will be losing thing one after another, and no one buys a ball back, and no one buys a ball back, and no one can bring that ball back once again in the life of this boy. Why? Because the same ball can't be bought once again. Because the same ball, that same ball can't be brought back, because the memories connected to that ball, moments spent with the ball, that can't be brought back. This is the ultimate truth. And money is external. That's why money is external. Money can't do anything. Money can't buy love. Money can't buy life. Money can't buy sympathy. Money can't buy compassion. Money can't buy friendship. Money is external. Money is useless. When we talk about relations, money is useless. So money has no importance. Money has no importance in the life of this little boy, because this little boy has lost his precious time of childhood days, and then he is learning. Now this boy is starting learning, is learning, and what? Well, behind his desperate eyes, that his very sad eyes, sad days. Now he is just learning. He has become sad, okay, but now he is learning the experience of what? Epistemology of loss. Epistemology of loss, losing the art of losing the things one by one. That he is learning now. He is dealing with this situation that he will lose one thing after another, and how to stand up. And while he is losing so many things one by one, now he needs to stand up. When he will be losing one thing after another, he must stand up, and knowing what every man must one day know. Knowing, he must know this reality. He must know this reality that what every man must one day know. Everyone has to know. Everyone must know this reality, what he is going to experience. And the mature people, like poet knows the reality. That's why the poet has never disturbed this boy who has become very stunned, who has become like statue, who has just fixed himself with a lot of grief, and must know many days. And many days must have the experience of many days of losing one thing after another, how to stand up. And this boy must know the art to stand up. To stand up, not to be disappointed, to fight with such a situation. This boy must learn that if he will lose the things one after another, then he will have to compromise with the things. Now, dear learners, we will talk about the device, literary device of the poem. We find here the poem starts with what, and the line starts and the second line also what. So we find here anaphora figure of speech, the same words, okay, line starts with, and then here also merrily and merrily, anaphora figure of speech. Here we can find it very well. Then we find here, yes, then here, yes, no one buys a ball back, alliteration figure of speech, sound of repetition of the sound B, repetition of the sound B, buys ball back, alliteration figure of speech we find over here very well. So this is, and this line of the poem, money is external, is very thought provoking. Money is external, this line, that where money is useless. There are many things in our life where we find that money is completely useless, although we have learned a lot of money, but that money will not work when there will be the question of relation, when there will be question of truth, when there will be the question of sympathy, compassion, so many qualities. Money will be useless. Money can't bring back the life which is lost. Money can't bring back the ball which is lost. Money can't bring back the memories connected to the ball. It can't be brought back. So money is useless sometimes in our life. That's why we have to remember. And what the poet has described in this poem, we have to take care of all those things, that we will be learning the experience a lot. And the poet is very successful to describe, to delineate the expression of emotions for a boy. And each and everyone must remember the childhood days. But we are not able to bring back those childhood days in our life. So that's all for you people, readers. So I just request you go through the poem and try to understand the life in a very meaningful manner by reading this poem. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.